We had the call scheduled with the marketing consultant yesterday on Friday, and it got canceled because he didn't present to them his marketing plan yet. So I basically got a call from the CEO, hey, we haven't done this yet. We're not ready to have you, because we are going to have a separate call with the marketing consultant. After they met, we were going to meet and talk, and he was going to intro, ask us questions or whatnot. But they can't do that until they have this meeting with him, so he can present their suggested budget and what they should do and go from there. But it was really nice that he called me and told me, hey, we can't do this call today. That was just really courteous. That's the kind of people I want to be in business with. So a little delay, but still progress. No bad news is good news. I had the phone call yesterday to, was our second phone call to follow up with these guys. We were supposed to have this call with their marketing consultant, but that didn't end up happening. And one of the first things that was said on this phone call is that they still hadn't talked to the other agency that the consultant was trying to introduce to them again. I don't even know why they wouldn't be following up with them more, but they haven't talked to him again, and he seemed a bit put off by that. I thought that was a really nice thing to hear right at the beginning of this meeting. He was really concerned about trying to make sure that what they're looking at is accurate information and how to review the numbers and what numbers are real, and very curious about if he was going to be able to get real data that he can rely on. We went through very quickly in the meeting, and early on, in the meeting, how to do that and how accurate it can get, and the ways that the UTMs are not set up correctly right now, which is impacting the reporting. Because analytics might not be showing, analytics is the last click, but it might not be showing Facebook as attributing enough revenue to something like Facebook. There might be a lot of those sales going to something like direct. And there's ways to solve that. There's always going to be some leakage, but there's ways to solve that to a high degree of accuracy. And we showed all those different ways. And I think that was really something that resonated very well, just still instilling confidence that we know what to do to solve his problem and his concern. And then we talked about the consultant and how he would be the person that we report to. He's still going to be involved. And we said, that's no problem at all. Every company has somebody that is responsible, that we report to, that's responsible for the marketing agency's performance. And it's not unique. It's unique in that he wouldn't be working specifically at the company, but it's not unique that we would have one person that we have to report to. And I guess a consultant is very direct response based. He's very day-to-day oriented, making sure everything's converting every day. And that's great, because that's how we all started in the business. We started as true affiliates, dollars out, dollars in every single day. So we're of the same mindset there. And I feel like he's going to really enjoy working with us, and we would really enjoy working with him as well. We want to talk to people that understand, that aren't necessarily ramping up and trying to wrap their head around it, which is more the owner and COO's position now. They had a marketing manager that quit. So they've been thrust into this, though that I'm sure they did it many years ago. It's a lot to get your head around again when you're also trying to run the company. So having a marketing consultant that's in it all day, every day, and they're going to understand and appreciate the work that we're doing. So it's going to be great for us, because we won't have to fight with anybody about trying to help them understand or waste our time explaining. We can just talk about the numbers, and he'll see the strategies and the way campaigns are getting set up and appreciate it, and be able to articulate that to the client real well. It was a long conversation about their company and strategies that they could deploy and changes that could get made. The person who was running social in-house wasn't on the call, so we dug a little bit into all the things that were possible with social, because we weren't going to do that in front of this person in the meeting. We started talking about all the things that we could do in Google, and then we talked about what we specifically would do if we took the business over right away. It felt like a really good transition in the conversation from, yes, you can get this data, here's how you can get it, here's a few things you can change, yes, what you want is possible, yes, these are good averages on e-commerce sites, this is, your numbers are good here, you can move some spend to this platform. Transitioning the conversation from that to, hey, this is what we would do day one. We would start right away getting all your assets, and making sure that images that we think are really good are being utilized to the best, their fullest extent. And then we would fix the tracking and make sure all our data is coming in and it's very accurate and we can rely on it. And then we can start making strategic decisions on spend amounts and campaign setup and unique opportunities. They might have if they had a heavy amount of traffic going towards men, but women convert better. You'll be able to see that with really great data reporting. and then transitioning the campaigns and splitting them up, reorganizing shopping completely, reorganizing search campaigns completely, but explaining that it's not something that we stop all their traffic and then start new campaigns. You just slowly have the two transition out. Their campaigns, their legacy campaigns will keep running, and this is just explaining all this to them. The legacy campaigns will keep running, but we'll create our own new campaigns, and when our new campaigns start to win against the legacy, then we'll turn the legacy off and keep ours going and ramp them up, because you can't just stop cold. You have to keep the momentum for the client. It would be a terrible disaster to lose all that data and information. That went over really well, and the conversation transitioned to hypotheticals on how it would work with us and the consultant and stuff like that. He told us he'd get back to us on Monday. It's Friday now, day after the phone call, and we were supposed to talk to this consultant. We haven't talked to him yet, but I feel like this owner is really just going to say, hey, I want to go with these local guys, and I want you to be the consultant that manages them, or the middleman there, until they can find somebody to be internal. And it could be a really good thing for him. He was curious about whether going into Q4, making a transition, if we had any concerns. We really don't. It's really the best time to get into it now, because we can get a few weeks before Q4 to make it happen. Get a little momentum before traffic costs get crazy. Plus Black Friday coming up and everything. We want to be prepared and have our hands around the account before we start bombing on Black Friday. So it's good timing. We're feeling good. The conversation went well. The transition in his tone from curious to confident was really nice to see. Actually just got an email from him complimenting the action plan, asking what software we use to make it. It's Monday. We use monday.com, really legit. Saying that he enjoyed our conversation as well. We're straight shooters and he likes that, because this guy is a straight shooter. It's really refreshing. So he spoke to the agency on the East Coast. He says the owner is very hands-on, just like us. It was a good talk. They're going to follow up with a proposal, and kind of left it at that. Said, have a great weekend, and we'll touch base next week. So that's good. I mean, at least he ended up speaking to him, and we don't have to wonder if we're still waiting for him to talk to them or what's going to happen. I'd rather both of us compete head to head and then him decide. So little update, and we'll definitely find out next week, it sounds